This is your sign. Archangel Michael is near. Don't scroll. Please don't scroll. Listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, not later, not tomorrow, but right now. And if you feel that subtle pause in your chest, that quiet stillness where everything else faded for just a second, that is not random, that is the exact moment your soul recognized truth before your mind could catch up. And I need you to stay with me here because Archangel Michael is closer to you than you realize in this very moment, standing beside you in a way that feels invisible yet unmistakably powerful, like a presence that doesn't need to announce itself to be felt. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because you didn't land here by accident, you were guided here through a series of choices, delays, frustrations, and quiet prayers you may not even remember saying out loud, and this message is for you, especially if you've been feeling tired in a way sleep doesn't fix, if your heart has been heavy without a clear reason, if you've been questioning your path, your timing, or even your worth. Because Archangel Michael draws near when someone is at the edge of a transformation they can't yet see, and your heart needs this right now, so take a breath and let it land. You are protected, even from things you never saw coming, and lately you've felt it, haven't you? That strange sense that something was about to shift, moments where fear almost took over but then suddenly dissolved, moments where you should have broken down but instead found strength you didn't know you had. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because that strength wasn't forced, it was given, it was placed into you quietly while you were focused on surviving, and this message is for you because the universe has been sending you signs non-stop, repeating numbers like 1111 showing up when your mind was elsewhere, 222 appearing when you questioned a relationship, 44 finding you when you needed reassurance that you weren't walking alone, and your heart needs this right now because those numbers weren't coincidences, they were confirmations, gentle taps on the soul saying, keep going, even if you don't understand yet. And here's the part you need to hear clearly. Archangel Michael does not arrive empty-handed, he comes with clarity, protection, and truth. And truth is beginning to surface in your life whether you feel ready or not, so don't scroll. Listen to this. Because something that has been hidden is starting to reveal itself, not to hurt you, but to free you, and deep down you already feel it, that inner knowing that something or someone no longer fits the version of you that you are becoming, and your heart needs this right now because you've been holding on out of loyalty, fear, hope, or habit, but divine protection sometimes looks like separation, sometimes looks like endings that don't come with closure right away, and this message is for you. Because a cycle is closing, quietly but permanently, and once it does, you'll look back and realize how much energy you were giving to something that was never meant to go with you into the next chapter. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because this is also about love, yes, soulmate energy, the kind that doesn't rush in loudly but aligns gently, and if you've been feeling someone on your mind lately, someone from the past or someone you haven't even met yet, that pull is real. Because soul connections activate during spiritual awakenings, and your heart needs this right now because love for you is being protected, not delayed, protected, shielded until you are fully ready to receive it without losing yourself. And Archangel Michael guards connections that are meant to last, not ones meant to teach you through pain, and this message is for you if you've been healing from betrayal, disappointment, or abandonment. Because what's coming next will meet you at your healed self, not your wounded one. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because the awakening you're in may feel confusing, emotional, even lonely at times, but it's real, and it's activating gifts you didn't know you carried, heightened intuition, stronger discernment, a deeper emotional awareness that makes superficial connections fall away. And your heart needs this right now because you've been wondering why you can't tolerate what you used to accept, why your standards feel higher, Why silence feels more peaceful than chaos, and this message is for you because that's growth, that's alignment, that's divine recalibration happening in real time, and Archangel Michael stands close during these moments to remind you that you are safe to choose differently now, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the universe is about to test your trust, not by giving you something new immediately, but by asking you to release what no longer resonates, and this is where many people hesitate, but you won't, because your soul already knows what needs to be done, and your heart needs this right now to confirm what you've been feeling but doubting, that inner voice that keeps whispering, you deserve better, there is more, this isn't the end. And this message is for you because divine timing is unfolding in layers, not all at once, and within the coming weeks you'll notice subtle but undeniable shifts, conversations that reveal truth, opportunities that appear unexpectedly, emotional weight lifting without explanation, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because when that happens, remember this moment, remember that you were warned, prepared, and protected, and above all, remember that you are not forgotten, you are not behind, and you are not alone. Archangel Michael is near, guarding your next step even if you can't see the path yet, and your heart needs this right now, because the universe doesn't interrupt your scroll unless something important is about to change. Don't scroll. Stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize, and if you felt a shift after part 1, like something opened up emotionally or a memory surfaced or even tears came without warning, that's because the message didn't just pass through your ears, it reached your spirit, and now this part goes deeper, because what's happening around you right now is not random, it's alignment, and I need you to hear this clearly. Everything that has felt delayed, confusing, or unfair was never meant to break you, it was meant to prepare you. And don't scroll, listen to this, because you've been asking silently, sometimes angrily, sometimes through exhaustion, when is it my turn? And the universe heard you, but instead of answering loudly, it began rearranging things quietly behind the scenes, and this message is for you because you are standing in the in-between space, the moment after survival but before reward, and that space can feel lonely, heavy, and uncertain, and your heart needs this right now because you've been misinterpreting the pause as rejection, when in truth it was protection, and lately you've probably noticed old patterns trying to resurface. Old fears, old people, old habits knocking at the door of your new self, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that is not a sign of regression, it's a test of boundaries, a final check to see if you will choose growth over comfort, clarity over chaos, peace over familiarity, and this message is for you because you are strong enough now to say no without explaining, to walk away without guilt, to trust your intuition even when others don't understand it, and your heart needs this right now because you've been second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're being too sensitive, too emotional, too guarded. But the truth is, you're being discerning, and that discernment was earned through everything you survived, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the universe is about to validate what you already feel in your gut, and when that validation comes, it may not look dramatic, it may look like a quiet realization, a sudden sense of peace, or an unexpected conversation that reveals someone's true intentions. And this message is for you because clarity is coming, and clarity always feels like relief mixed with grief, relief for finally knowing the truth, grief for realizing how long you ignored it, and your heart needs this right now too. Understand that both feelings can exist at the same time without canceling each other out, and here's something important, love is being recalibrated in your life, not just romantic love, but the way you love yourself, the way you allow others to treat you, the way you define connection, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because soulmate energy doesn't always arrive as a person at first, sometimes it arrives as self-respect, as healing, as the courage to choose differently, and when you align with that version of yourself, the right person is magnetized toward you naturally, without force, without confusion, without games, and this message is for you because someone connected to your soul is already feeling this shift too, feeling drawn, restless, aware that something is changing even if they can't name it yet. And your heart needs this right now because you've been wondering if love will ever feel safe again, and the answer is yes, but only after you stop shrinking to make others comfortable, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the signs you've been seeing are increasing for a reason, repeating numbers, vivid dreams, emotional waves that come out of nowhere, memories resurfacing not to haunt you but to be released, and this message is for you because you are in the middle of a spiritual awakening that is teaching you how to trust yourself again, and awakenings are not gentle at first, they shake loose what doesn't belong, they expose truth, they demand honesty, and your heart needs this right now because you've been feeling things more deeply than before, sensing energy, feeling drained around certain people, uplifted around others, and that sensitivity is not weakness, it's awareness, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because awareness is the doorway to freedom, and once you see clearly, you can't unsee, and that's why the universe moves slowly with you now, because once the next chapter begins, there is no going back to the old one, and this message is for you because you are closer than you think to a breakthrough, not a loud one, not one that needs validation from the outside world, but an internal breakthrough where you finally stop waiting for permission to be happy, to be chosen, to be at peace, and your heart needs this right now because the next phase of your life requires courage, not certainty, trust, not proof, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because soon you will be asked to choose, not between good and bad, but between what's familiar and what's aligned, and that choice will determine how fast things change for you, and when you choose alignment, things move quickly, almost magically, and this message is for you because when that happens, you'll remember this moment, this feeling, this knowing, and you'll realize the universe was guiding you all along, step by step, breath by breath, preparing you for what you once thought was impossible but is now inevitable, and your heart needs this right now, because the story is not ending, it's just getting honest. Don't scroll. Stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than ever, and if you're still here, that's already confirmation that something inside you knows this isn't just another video, another voice, another passing moment, because right now the energy around you is shifting in a way that doesn't announce itself loudly, it whispers, it settles, it waits for you to notice, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because you are standing at a turning point that will only make sense in hindsight, the kind of moment where later you'll say, that's when things started changing, even though nothing dramatic seemed to happen at the time, and this message is for you because the universe is slowing you down on purpose, removing distractions, creating silence, not to punish you, but to help you hear what you've been ignoring. And your heart needs this right now because you've been surrounded by noise. Opinions, expectations, pressure to be more, do more, prove more, while your soul has been quietly asking for rest, truth, and alignment, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because Archangel Michael's presence is strongest in moments of clarity, not chaos, and that's why things that once mattered so much to you suddenly feel distant, heavy, or unnecessary, and this message is for you if you've been feeling detached from things you used to chase, people you used to prioritize, dreams that no longer excite you the way they once did, because that's not loss, that's evolution. And your heart needs this right now to understand that outgrowing something doesn't mean it was wrong, It just means its role is complete, and lately you may have noticed your tolerance for disrespect, confusion, or emotional inconsistency has dropped dramatically, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that is not you becoming cold, it's you becoming clear, and clarity changes everything, including the way the universe responds to you, because once you stop accepting what drains you, you create space for what restores you, and this message is for you because a truth is rising to the surface, one that can no longer be avoided, delayed, or softened, and when it arrives, it may not feel like relief right away. It may feel like a mix of sadness and strength, like closing a door gently, while knowing you'll never open it again, and your heart needs this right now because endings don't always come with explosions, sometimes they come with peace, and that peace is the sign you chose correctly, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because love is also being redefined for you at this stage, not as intensity, not as longing, not as chasing, but as safety, consistency, and emotional honesty, and if you've been feeling disconnected from romantic energy lately, that's because your soul is recalibrating what it will and will not accept going forward, and this message is for you because soulmate energy is not missing you, it's aligning with you. But alignment requires patience, boundaries, and self-trust, and your heart needs this right now because you've been tempted to settle, to go back, to reopen doors that hurt you simply because they were familiar, and don't scroll, listen to this, because familiarity is not destiny, and comfort is not always peace, and the universe is asking you one simple but powerful question right now. Can you trust what you feel even if it means standing alone for a moment longer? And this message is for you because your intuition has been getting louder, stronger, more persistent, and you've been trying to rationalize it away, explain it, doubt it, but intuition doesn't need proof, it needs permission, and your heart needs this right now because once you fully trust yourself, everything accelerates, manifestations, connections, opportunities, clarity, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because signs are about to become undeniable, conversations will confirm what you suspected, behaviors will reveal truth without words, and situations will resolve themselves without you forcing anything, and this message is for you because the universe is removing the need for you to chase answers. Instead, answers are coming to you effortlessly, and that's how you'll know you're aligned, because things stop feeling heavy, even when they're serious. And your heart needs this right now because you've been carrying emotional weight that was never yours to hold alone, and protection has been active around you in ways you'll only realize later, doors that didn't open, plans that fell through, connections that faded unexpectedly, all of it redirecting you quietly, gently, firmly, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the next phase of your life will require a new version of you, one that chooses peace over proving, intuition over impulse, truth over comfort, and this message is for you because you are becoming that version right now, moment by moment, choice by choice, and soon you'll notice how people respond differently to you, how opportunities meet you halfway, how love feels calmer, safer, more real. And your heart needs this right now because you're closer than you think to a breakthrough that won't feel like fireworks, but like coming home to yourself, and when that happens, you'll understand why everything unfolded the way it did, and why this moment, right here, right now, was necessary, and don't scroll, listen to this, because what's coming next will only make sense to those who were patient enough to stay through the quiet transformation. Don't scroll, stay with me, listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, and if you've made it this far, understand something important. Very few people are willing to sit with truth when it gets quiet, when it stops entertaining and starts transforming, and that alone tells me you're ready for what comes next, because right now the universe is leaning in closer to you, not loudly, not dramatically, but intentionally, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the stillness you've been feeling lately isn't emptiness, it's anticipation, it's the pause right before clarity locks in, and this message is for you because something inside you has already shifted, even if your life on the outside looks mostly the same, and your heart needs this right now because internal shifts always come first. They rearrange your priorities, your reactions, your tolerance. And you may have noticed you don't react the same way anymore, things that once triggered you now feel distant, and things that once excited you no longer pull at you the same way, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that's the sign that you're no longer operating from survival mode, you're moving into alignment mode, where choices are made from truth instead of fear, and this message is for you because alignment often feels lonely at first. It creates space, it removes noise, it distances you from people who were never meant to understand the deeper layers of you, and your heart needs this right now because you've been questioning that loneliness, wondering if you made a mistake by pulling back, by choosing peace, by protecting your energy. But the truth is, isolation is sometimes divine preparation. It's the clearing before the connection, the quiet before the arrival, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because love is circling closer to you now, not the chaotic kind, not the confusing kind, but the steady, grounded kind that doesn't make you anxious. And if you've been feeling moments of unexpected calm mixed with sudden waves of emotion, that's because your nervous system is learning what safety feels like, and this message is for you because soulmate energy doesn't rush in while you're still negotiating your worth. It arrives when you stop chasing and start allowing, and your heart needs this right now because you've done the hard work of healing, even when no one clapped for you, even when you had to figure it out alone, even when you wanted to give up, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that effort didn't go unnoticed, not by the universe, not by the unseen forces guiding you, not by the future version of you who will one day look back and feel grateful that you didn't quit during the quiet part, and this message is for you because something you thought you lost is actually finding its way back to you in a new form, not the same energy, not the same pattern, but a refined version that aligns with who you are now. And your heart needs this right now because you've been grieving something without fully realizing it, grieving old dreams, old expectations, old versions of people you hoped would change, and grief doesn't always look like sadness, sometimes it looks like detachment, numbness, or fatigue, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because releasing that grief is what makes room for the next chapter, and the universe is not asking you to forget the past, it's asking you to stop carrying it into places it doesn't belong, and this message is for you because your intuition is about to become impossible to ignore. It will speak through your body, your emotions, your sudden knowing, and when it does, you'll feel a sense of certainty that doesn't need validation. And your heart needs this right now because certainty is the gift that comes after confusion, not before, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because there will be a moment soon, subtle but powerful, where something clicks, where a conversation, a realization, or even a quiet thought changes how you see a situation you've been struggling with, and once that happens, there's no going back to pretending you don't know what you know, and this message is for you because the universe is done repeating lessons, it's ready to move you forward, but forward requires honesty with yourself first, and your heart needs this right now because honesty may cost you comfort, but it will give you peace, and peace is what you've been searching for all along, not excitement, not validation, not approval, just peace, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the protection around you is stronger than you think, certain delays, detours, and disappointments were not setbacks, they were shields, and one day you'll understand exactly what you were being protected from, and this message is for you because your life is about to feel lighter, not because everything becomes perfect, but because you stop carrying what was never yours to begin with. And your heart needs this right now because the next phase doesn't require you to fight, it requires you to trust, to allow, to receive, and that can feel unfamiliar when you've spent so long being strong. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because soon you'll notice that things start flowing with less resistance, people meet you with more honesty, opportunities feel aligned instead of forced, and love feels calm instead of chaotic. And when that happens, remember this moment, remember that you stayed, that you listened, that you trusted the quiet guidance, and this message is for you because the transformation isn't coming. It's already happening, and the only thing left now is for you to believe that you deserve what's arriving next. Don't scroll, stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. And if you feel that tightness in your chest or that sudden stillness like the world just dimmed for a second, that's because you're standing at a spiritual crossroad whether you consciously chose it or not. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because this is the part where everything you've learned, everything you've survived, everything you've healed from begins to ask one question. Will you trust yourself now, even without guarantees, even without seeing the full picture? And this message is for you because the universe doesn't bring people this far just to abandon them at the edge of breakthrough, and yet this stage often feels the most uncomfortable, because it requires surrender, not effort, faith, not force, and your heart needs this right now because you've been conditioned to believe that if you're not struggling, you're not progressing, but that belief is breaking. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because ease is not laziness, peace is not weakness, and calm does not mean nothing is happening, it means things are finally happening in alignment. And this message is for you because you're beginning to notice how quickly your energy shifts now, how certain conversations drain you instantly, how certain spaces feel heavy, how certain people feel misaligned without doing anything wrong. And your heart needs this right now because awareness changes your responsibility. Once you feel something clearly, you can't unknow it, and the universe is watching how you respond to that awareness, not to judge you, but to guide you toward what matches your frequency. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because there is a choice forming in your life, subtle but powerful, a choice between staying emotionally safe in the familiar or stepping forward into something that feels unknown but deeply right. And this message is for you because you've already outgrown the version of you that settles, that explains, that overgives to be chosen. And your heart needs this right now because the next chapter requires you to show up differently, not louder, not harder, but more honest, more grounded, more self-respecting. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because love is approaching your life from a different angle now, not through longing or chasing, but through resonance. And if you've been feeling detached from romantic drama, uninterested in surface-level attention, that's not because love is gone, it's because your soul is preparing for something real, something mutual, something safe. And this message is for you because soulmate connections recognize each other through peace, not anxiety, through consistency, not confusion. And your heart needs this right now because you've mistaken intensity for connection in the past, and this season is teaching you the difference. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because the universe is also asking you to release control, not irresponsibility, but the need to predict every outcome. And that's difficult when you've had to be strong for so long, when you learned to anticipate disappointment before it arrived. But this message is for you because control was once your protection, and now it's becoming your limitation. And your heart needs this right now because surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that you no longer need to fight everything alone. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because signs will continue to show up more frequently now, repeating numbers appearing at emotional moments, sudden clarity during ordinary tasks, dreams that feel symbolic, conversations that feel timed perfectly, and this message is for you because the universe communicates most clearly when you stop demanding answers and start listening for alignment. And your heart needs this right now because you are being guided toward a version of life that feels simpler, lighter, more honest, even if it looks unfamiliar at first. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because something you've been waiting for is also waiting for you to choose yourself fully, not halfway, not conditionally, but completely, and this message is for you because once you do, momentum returns quickly, doors open that felt locked, conversations shift, energy flows, and things that once felt impossible begin to feel inevitable, and your heart needs this right now because you are not behind, you are not late. You are right on time for the life that matches who you are now, not who you were when you were hurting. And don't scroll, listen to this, because soon you'll look back at this phase and realize it wasn't emptiness, it was preparation, it wasn't stagnation, it was alignment, and it wasn't loneliness, it was space being made for something sacred. And this message is for you because the crossroad you're at doesn't require a perfect decision, it requires an honest one, and honesty will always lead you home. Don't scroll. Stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, and if you've felt a strange mix of calm and anticipation lately, like something is hovering just out of view, that's because the universe is responding to a decision you made internally, even if you never spoke it out loud. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because the moment you chose peace over proving, truth over comfort, alignment over attachment, the energy around your life shifted instantly, quietly, powerfully, and this message is for you because faith isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes faith looks like staying still when you could panic, like not reaching out when your ego wants reassurance, like trusting silence instead of forcing answers. And your heart needs this right now because you've been tested in subtle ways recently. Moments where you could have gone back to old patterns, old people, old coping mechanisms, but something in you said, no, not anymore. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because that no was heard, that boundary echoed, and the universe responds fastest to clarity, not desperation, and this message is for you because you are now in the phase where things begin to respond to you differently. People sense your shift even if they can't explain it, conversations feel more honest, manipulative dynamics lose their grip, and situations that once drained you simply fall away without a fight. And your heart needs this right now because ease may feel unfamiliar after so much struggle, and you might be tempted to question it, to look for the problem, to wait for the other shoe to drop, but don't scroll, listen to this. Peace is not a trap, it's a signal, and when peace arrives after chaos, it means you've passed a lesson that no longer needs repeating. And this message is for you because love is also recalibrating around you now, not through intensity or obsession, but through mutual respect and emotional safety. And if you've been feeling less reactive, less attached to outcomes, that's because your nervous system is finally trusting that you don't have to chase what's meant for you, and your heart needs this right now because soulmate energy responds to self-worth instantly. The moment you stop begging to be chosen, you become undeniable. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because someone connected to your future is already feeling the pull of alignment, feeling curious, drawn, aware that something in their life is shifting too, and this message is for you because divine connections don't arrive when you're empty, they arrive when you're whole enough to share, not sacrifice yourself. And your heart needs this right now because the universe is preparing to surprise you, not with something loud, but with something right. And that difference matters. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because signs will continue to increase now, repeating numbers showing up when you're calm instead of anxious, intuitive hits that prove accurate, moments where you just know without explanation, and this message is for you because intuition sharpens when fear loosens its grip, and you've done the work to loosen it, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it meant standing alone emotionally for a while. And your heart needs this right now because you may soon be asked to receive, not earn. Not chase, not prove, but receive, and that can feel harder than struggle when you're used to survival. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because receiving requires trust, and trust requires letting go of control, and control was once your shield, but now it's being gently removed because you no longer need armor in a space that's meant to nourish you, and this message is for you because the universe doesn't reward effort the way humans do, it responds to alignment, and alignment is exactly where you're landing now, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. And your heart needs this right now because there will be a moment soon. Small but undeniable, where something works out effortlessly, where a conversation resolves itself, where an opportunity opens without struggle, where love feels easy instead of uncertain, and when that happens, don't dismiss it, don't minimize it, don't overanalyze it, because that is the confirmation, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that moment is not luck, it's response, it's the universe saying, you trusted, and now we move, and this message is for you because once momentum returns, it builds quickly, and your only responsibility will be to stay honest with yourself, to keep choosing alignment over fear, and your heart needs this right now because you are no longer waiting for life to begin, life is already responding to you, quietly rearranging itself in your favor, and soon you'll realize that everything you thought was falling apart was actually falling into place, and this phase, this exact moment, was the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming, and don't scroll, listen to this, because what comes next won't ask you to suffer, it will ask you to receive, and you are finally ready. Don't scroll. Please don't scroll, stay with me until the very end and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than anything else you've heard today, and if you've stayed through every part, that alone is proof that your soul knew there was something here waiting for you, something meant to land at the exact moment you were ready to receive it, and now we're here, at the closing of this message but the opening of something much bigger in your life, and I need you to hear this slowly, gently, clearly. You did not imagine the shift, you did not overthink the signs, you did not misread the timing, everything you've been feeling has been real, guided, and intentional, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the reason things have felt quiet lately isn't because nothing is happening, it's because everything is locking into place behind the scenes, and the universe always goes quiet right before alignment becomes visible, and this message is for you because the waiting, the healing, the choosing yourself, the nights where you felt alone but kept going anyway, all of it has brought you to this exact frequency where what's meant for you can finally recognize you, and your heart needs this right now because you are stepping into a version of your life where you no longer have to convince, chase, or suffer to be chosen, and that might feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable at first, because struggle became normal for you for a long time, but don't scroll, listen to this. Ease is your new confirmation, peace is your new sign, calm is how you'll know you're aligned, and this message is for you because the universe is about to reward consistency, not perfection, faith, not fearlessness, and honesty, not pretending you were okay when you weren't, and your heart needs this right now because something very important is about to happen. Not in a dramatic, movie scene way, but in a deeply personal, undeniable way where you suddenly realize you're no longer the same person who started this journey, and that realization will hit you quietly, maybe during an ordinary moment, and you'll think, I'm not anxious anymore, or I don't feel that heaviness, or I finally trust myself, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because that moment is the miracle, that's the evidence that the cycle truly ended, and this message is for you because love is about to feel different, not intense, not uncertain, not triggering, but steady, mutual, emotionally safe, and whether that love shows up through a person, a purpose, or a deeper connection to yourself first, it will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for years. And your heart needs this right now because you were never meant to live in survival mode forever. You were meant to build, to receive, to experience joy without guilt, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because the universe is asking you to trust the timing even now, even if you don't see the full picture yet, because the next step only appears once you fully release the old one. And this message is for you because there are blessings that only meet you when your hands are empty of what no longer belongs, and your heart needs this right now because you are protected in ways you'll only fully understand later, guided in ways that spared you pain you never saw coming, and loved by forces you can't see but have felt all along. And don't scroll, listen to this. Because very soon you'll receive a confirmation that makes this entire message make sense, a conversation, an opportunity, a realization, or an emotional release that feels like closure and beginning at the same time, and when it happens, you'll remember this moment, you'll remember that you were told to stay, to trust, to listen. And this message is for you because the universe doesn't speak this clearly unless something real is unfolding. And your heart needs this right now because you are done repeating lessons, done questioning your worth, done shrinking for spaces that couldn't hold you, and don't scroll, listen to this. Because from this point forward, life responds to you differently when you respond to yourself with honesty, and the ending you feared has already passed. What you're standing in now is the beginning you prayed for, even if it arrives quietly, gently, without announcement, and this message is for you because you were always meant to make it here, and if this touched you, if you felt seen, if your chest feels lighter or your eyes feel heavy,